Hey everybody, this is Darkside Elite here, and want to do a video real quick. Yesterday I was out of town. I had to do a new rig system for my computer. I got a new setup. But this is for the new Titans episode 7, I believe, and it's called Bruce Wayne. I wanted to get this out yesterday, but I went out of town, so I'm sorry about that. But this is all about Titans, and to really get into this episode, what did I initially thought of the whole thing? I thought it was an movie episode. The depth and content they were trying to tell was a lot more for Dick Grayson to get him finally out of what the heck is going on with him, why he's weighing all these problems onto himself, and what direction are they finally going to go with him. And I think they did a really good job with that. And I think that the there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem that I see, but it might be cleaned up once they're done with certain events. Now, my biggest hublub is I did not like how they did Bruce Wayne. I think that they were contrasting his personality with Dick Grayson's, where they had Bruce Wayne acting more like the Adam West Batman in certain scenes. He was being more jokey, and that was a little off-putting. Now, this was all illustrated because there's something going on with Dick Grayson, and he needed to talk to Bruce. But this was weird. It was like a contrast of their personalities. That Dick Grayson was being more like Bruce, and to me, Bruce Wayne was acting a lot more like Dick Grayson, like closer to his comic book roots and his traditional comic book roots, not the more modern aged, um, closer to his golden age slash silver age version before he left, when he was still Robin, and it really off-putted a lot of the scenes and a lot of the depth they were trying to do. But I think they were bringing some insight because again, there's a lot of things going on, and I don't want to spoil it. I think a lot of people should watch the episode. Now, there the episode does get into depth about Deathstroke. It gets into depth about Jason and Rose and some budding romances, and the fact that Jason really feels that he's broken. He's a broken person. He's a broken character, and he was messed up since the day Bruce Wayne brought him in. And Bruce, and again, I there's something off with this Bruce Wayne. There's something really off with him because the way they presented him in the episode that Richard went to him, he doesn't seem like the type that would allow Jason to run amok. It's just weird. It's just really weird how they're presenting him. And but again, I think the episode was done pretty well. I just don't like how they're portraying Bruce Wayne. A lot of people are thumbing that up, and I'm going, no, I think it's terrible. I think Elon Glenn is a great actor, but this was a wrong role for him to do. But again, it goes back to a lot of people love Batman, and they want to, and if they can be able to portray Batman in almost any shape or form, they're gonna do it. And but I still believe that acting wise, he's a great actor, but how they're writing him and portraying him, it's terrible. It's not Bruce Wayne. It's not Batman. And he's not Batman. He's not in the suit Batman. But I still think that how they're writing Bruce Wayne is very weird. I don't know the direction they're going with him because it's so off the wall. Um, and also off the cuff. It just to me it just seems like they're switching their personalities. That Bruce is acting way more loose and jovial than Dick Grayson, and it's really weird. So I don't know where they're gonna go with that, and it seems kind of strange. But anywho, let's move on from that. We get more stuff going on with Jason. Of course, he's still feeling the effects of his near death experience. Um, I have a problem with that, and I know that Hawk is going to have a huge problem with that because Bruce should have drilled that out of him. He should not have. He should have almost little to no fear. A near death experience that should be almost nothing. This kid's been going out nights with Batman, beating the crap out of some of his most toughest villains. I mean, unless these guys are so. Again, I think that these guys, the way they're portraying Batman and his rogues, that Robin went more hardcore and Jason was sheltered a little bit because his villains must be very, very close to that 66 Batman era. They're very jokey and their crimes are pretty, outlandish, but they're kind of destructive. But it's just, again, it's just weird. I don't know how Jason is this soft. This Jason should not be soft. This Jason should be close to Dick Grayson. He should be very hardcore. Like it should be fear should not be in him. He should not have any fears over his near death experience, especially with the fact that he was saved by Connor. He was saved by Connor at the end of the last episode, so it doesn't make any sense. Um, um, Two, the whole Connor story. I think that it's really cool. Um, I think that it's kind of strange. The one thing that's strange is this: they know they got a Superman on the planet. There is a Superman on that planet. They gave you clues right off the bat that one, his skin is almost impenetrable. Two, there's a foreign toxin in his body that's weakening his body. That's a second clue. Three, he busted out and started talking ancient Kryptonian, and so did Starfire. So did Corey, and she says it's a dead language, and she's like, "What the hell? What language was that?" She goes, "It's Kryptonian," and it's like, "Wait a minute." That should be the clue right there. Like, wait a minute. Okay, he has a penetrable skin. He's screaming out dead Kryptonian language, which no one on Earth should know. There's only should be maybe 2 or 3 people on planet Earth that knows Kryptonian language, and and he was in a freaking Superman shirt. So why aren't they contacting Clark, or why aren't they contacting somebody that knows more about this so they get the information? I mean, once they figured out that it was what kryptonite in his system, they should have knew what the hell to do. Like, okay, if his body, okay, if he is, let's say he is a Kryptonian, then he's supposed to get stronger from being around a sun, right? Well, yeah. Okay, then why don't we pen? It makes absolutely no sense. It was like, wow, what the heck did they write here? It seems like everybody was stupid. Um, Now anybody can rebuttal and say, well, how would they know? I go, they should know because Superman's been on that planet for a very long should be been on that planet long enough for them to know that he gets stronger from the freaking sun and he speaks Kryptonian. So it's one of those things like don't it just go by common sense. I understand that they shouldn't know exactly, but if there's clues presented in front of them, they should be able to deduce that this is what it is. It's like that makes it to me it makes absolutely no sense. Um, um, then they rejuvenate his body again because they get Eve. Eve basically breaks Crypto out because Mercy and Lex know that she helped him. They know, but they're saying, okay, you gotta give us your card and everything else. So she pretty much busts Crypto out, and by busting him out, she was able to find Connor, and because of that, she tells him that he's part Kryptonian and this and this and this. So they go through this story, and then they bring Raven in, and she uses her powers to basically the cover everybody up, cover up Corey and Connor because Corey's gonna go basically supernova. She's basically gonna go supernova, and they say that and the reason why is she knows that a jolt of solar energy can basically boost his rejuvenation ability because he's part Kryptonian. So they do that, and the first thing in my head is why are they doing it in that room? Why aren't they doing it in a room that basically has way better protection? So that's to me. And on top of that, Raven's powers should not be able to hold Corey like that. Again, you're presenting a power discrepancy. She's having trouble with her powers, so you're now going to have her do something that extreme, that technical. So because the flames hurt her, it's a portion of her body that she's exerting. So when she does that and flames hit it, she screams in pain and starts doing like this because it feels like her body is getting hurt by the flames. So she's doing something that powerful, and I'm sitting there going, then why the hell are they having? Why are they? It's a weird discrepancy. They should never have done it. In my personal opinion, they should never have done it. Um, I think what they should have done was they put him in a flame retardant suit so she can go outside, or put him on the roof. She basically grabs him and flies. She can fly. She could pick him up. She's definitely strong, so she could have flew him up really really high into the one layer of the atmosphere, and went supernova, and went hot enough for it to start rejuvenating Connor's body. And she should have started generating that energy slowly as she was flying upwards. That'd have been cool, but I think that would have been a very detrimental to their budget. Okay, so we get Connor back, but he's still recuperating because again, he may have Superman's powers, but he still has human DNA, so his body has to still recover. Um, which makes sense. That makes sense to me. I mean, he has human cells in him, so he should be. It still take time for him to recover. His body healed from that massive toxin hit, and I guarantee she probably told him that it's kryptonite. So they got to get it out of him first, so then they can be so his body can slowly start to heal. But his body is being affected because of the foreign toxin in his system. But rejuvenating him up with solar energy basically made the kryptonite inert. Basically, in a way, no matter how much kryptonite is inside of his system, if he gets a solar dose, if he flies around, a synchronous orbit around the sun a couple of times, he that kryptonite doesn't do anything to him. He basically gets a massive recoup of solar energy, and on top of that, he's full Kryptonian, so that makes sense. Um, then so we get that story, and then on top of that, it shows that Corey is starting to gonna develop a not a relationship, but a more of a connection to Connor because they're both aliens. So she'll be able to help him. My only question is, why isn't Corey training Raven? Why are they training her to how to control her powers? I'm not saying devote an episode to it, but I'm saying is do some training regimen. And that scene that she protected him from that solar dose, that should not have been a training sequence. That's a very high technical ability. That's a massive technical ability. And I mean, I can suspend my disbelief a little bit, but not to the point where she should not have any troubles with her powers. She could hold in a freaking solar. Basically, what she did is she went supernova. She basically did a solar flare, not a supernova. She did a solar flare. That's what she did in that building. Because she went supernova, she would have burnt the whole building down. She actually took out almost the whole. She took out almost all of San Francisco. She did a solar flare. She would have, and that'd have been the end of it. Because unless again, if she says she went supernova, then holy crap, how strong is Raven? Because she's able to hold that in. Are you kidding me? Then why the heck are they having trouble? Why is it Raven going out there to help them? Because Deathstroke's a joke to them then. I mean, come on. It's just power discrepancy. You shouldn't do that. And on top of that, they don't have to have her fight Deathstroke. She could just use her powers and just mess him up from afar. But anywho, I mean, again, some people say it's nitpicking. It's not nitpicking. That's story. It's part of your story. If you're showing that, then that means that she should not be having any trouble with her powers. She should be able to know how to use her powers a lot better than that then. She should not be having any type of issues. Her anger, okay, that makes sense. But controlling her powers, like she says, whenever she uses her powers, they're different. It feels like it's different. And I'm like, yeah, because you never went through the 300 days of training. She never did. So now she has all this abrupt power and she doesn't know how to truly use it. Hence why we were assumed that it will be Corey that's going to start training her how to basically use her powers, because this was something that they illustrated that it was on Tamaran. The type of training that even Corey went through is almost in the same vein as what Raven has to go through. So that's why I thought that Corey would be the one that's going to train her. Why aren't they having Corey train her then? You know, but they're having her be more as the house mother. And I'm like, oh God, dude. Okay. All right. Let's see how this goes. And that's fine. Let's see how it goes. I'm not saying that this is terrible. I'm just saying, let's see how this goes. Gar was almost vacant in the whole episode again. Rose made a pass at Jason, and that started uh, some angst. Um, the actress that's playing as Rose is meh. she flips out when something comes to light about Richard, and Jason is flipping out. He's and somebody's been messing with the people in Titan's Tower. So Richard's been on this tirade to try to find where Deathstroke is, and then he finally goes there, and it comes to realization of what the heck is going on and why he's so determined to either take down Deathstroke by himself. And I don't want to reveal it, but he does blame himself for something. And Bruce is that reminder, and he's been following him throughout the whole episode, trying to tell him, like, dude, you need to talk about it. You know what the heck is going on. And when he finally gets home and he reveals to him that Deathstroke's here, Jason basically disappears because everyone blames him. They think that he's the one that did all this. So he goes to the roof, and because of it, he feels that he's broken. He's a broken person. Bruce can't help him. Richard can't help him. No one can help him. So he feels like the only escape is just basically to fall. And that's when Richard finally reveals what he did, and that's how the episode ends. And he finally opens up about what the heck happened. So I have a huge. This is my big feeling. I think that when this comes to light, it's going to not shatter the group. It's going to make everyone look at Richard like, what the f. And I think that this is one of the causal reasons of season one for Richard, why he went. Because now we know that after he killed Tony Zuko, he walked away from Batman and created Titans, and he just and all that weight followed him too. So the moment the whole thing with Deathstroke happened, that's when he left and went to Detroit. That's when he left and went to Detroit and said he's done. He's done. He's gonna do his own thing. He's gonna try not to be Robin anymore. But he was trying to find ways to clear up what he did wrong, and and I think that that's the best way to doing it. And I think that that is the better way of getting things done. So I'm gonna leave it there. It's still a good episode, but there were some scenes in there that I felt that was really off-putting for the characters. It was very off-putting for myself. Storyline wise was really good. It was very um, mind-blowing, and also a lot more clarification about what the heck has been going on with Richard. Like Richard's been messed up ever since Tony Zuko, and I think that that's what happened. So that's my assumption. I think that 5 years ago when he killed Tony Zuko, he walked away from Batman. He walked away from Batman, and he went to go create Titans. Bruce just let it go. He's like, whatever, he's gonna do his own thing. But when the whole thing with Deathstroke happened, that's when he said he's done, and he went and he left. He left Titans, broke Titans up, closed down Titans Tower, and he basically went off to Detroit to do his own thing. So I think that that's what happened. I think that this is the chain of events that happened. So when he reveals, I have a feeling he's gonna reveal that he killed Tony Zuko. He's the one who killed him, and he didn't care about it because this is the man that murdered his parents. And I think that a lot of them are gonna say, well, we understand that, but that doesn't, that's not, you should never have done that. And he's gonna get probably angry about it. But then a lot of people's gonna ask him, what do you think how Bruce is going to feel about that? And he's going to kind of reveal that he doesn't give two s's about it. Sorry, I'm trying not to curse. He's not going to give two s's about it. But they're all going to say, well, we know what happened to Bruce's parents. Did he go after the man who killed them and kill them in revenge? And he goes, that's not because that's not what Bruce does. And then they're going to say, yeah, because yes, his life is mired in tragedy, but he doesn't want to be the person that creates the tragedies. That's the thing. He's supposed to be the one that offsets the tragedies. That's who he is. But he has to be mired in tragedy for him to be much more effective. Because that goes in line with what young Donna Troy, no, I'm sorry, what Troy told him back in season one. That Wonder Woman is supposed to inspire hope and wonder. Batman is supposed to inspire fear and anger. But he doesn't allow himself to continue on with it. I mean, not continue. What I mean is to give into that. He doesn't give into that. He creates it. He creates it himself. He creates the fear. He makes them feel the way he felt when he was that boy. that his mother and father got murdered. But he doesn't go out there and just kill people. That's not who he is. Why did you do that? And it's gonna come out, and it's gonna finally it's gonna finally get everyone to go, whoa. So that's been his problem this whole time, because he killed Tony Zuko, and he feels massive regret over it. And then the fact that he what happened with Deathstroke, it really broke him. It really messed him up, and he's becoming worse than Bruce, because Bruce doesn't go out and murder people. He basically goes out and beats the crap out of criminals. He beats them savagely to make them feel the pain and the anger and the fear that he felt when he was a kid. So I hope that that's how they do it, and I hope that they keep it tight. I don't want them to go too loose with it. I want them to keep it tight. This is exact. Done. There is no interpretation. So that's my thing. If I'm gonna rate this out of 5, I think this was a 3. Um, the one before it, Connor, to me was a 4, and Deathstroke was a 4.5. It was awesome. Those last two were great. This one was a low episode. A lot of people felt it was fun. It was great, and a lot of people liked Ilan Glenn's portrayal of Bruce Wayne. I think it's not Bruce Wayne. Something is off. Even when they first introduced him, that was off. It didn't seem like Bruce. It seemed there was something else, and it has nothing to do with his age. It has nothing to do with him being a Scottish. It has nothing to do with that. It's more in the fact of how they wrote him. His his acting is great. His acting is phenomenal, but the writing for him is terrible. That's not Bruce Wayne, and I don't know much about this Bruce Wayne for me to give a much more concise understanding that, oh, okay, I understand why they did this. No, I don't know much about this Bruce, except the fact that he's Batman and his parents got murdered in an alley. I mean, his parents got murdered. I don't know if it was in an alley. I don't know if it was in a streetway. I don't know if it was Joe Chill. I don't know if it was the Joker. I don't know who the heck killed his parents. I don't know how he dealt with it. I don't know how he manages to being Batman. But there's a lot we don't know about his Batman and his Bruce Wayne, and we're just like going off of the surface level of story that they're telling us. And a lot of us, and a good amount of us, are going, that's not Bruce, that's not Batman. So we have to see how that is. All right. Thank you. Like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Hit that bell. I will try to get as many videos as I can out this week. It's gonna be pretty hectic. But I'll try to get as many videos out as I can, and I will do a review for the rest of the CW episodes. Um, I will watch Crisis. I will watch Supergirl. I will watch Batwoman all the way to the Crisis event, just to see what they're doing with them. But I heard a lot of stuff about Batwoman, and I will do a quick video on that one, and I will try to get those out as soon as I can. All right. You guys have a great one, and you have a great day. Bye.